What's up, traders? Clay here with Top One Trader. It's March 1st and a quarter of the way through the year. And man, it's been a crazy 2 months for sure. And over the weekend, I usually do these videos on Friday, but I'm glad I didn't because over the weekend we had a conflict erupt between Israel, the United States, and Iran. And I actually mentioned last week, I talked about that. So it's happening and it happened. And so, I think, it's the first week of the month. So we do have NFP this week, core retail sales on Friday. It's going to be pretty quiet until then. But I think that's really overshadowed now by what's going down in Iran, in the Middle East. If the conflict is going to continue, let's hope it doesn't. But all that aside, it's going to be a wild market open. And, I think that, definitely there's going to be some huge gaps and some big moves on metals, I would say. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at, I don't have oil pulled up here, but I want to take a look at that as well. If you take a look here now, Aussie dollar has been in a huge uptrend. Aussie's been super strong. The dollar has been pretty weak, in comparison. We have the dollar index over here. We're kind of at a make or break point in the DXY. But because of this conflict, the dollar is regarded as a risk-off asset, meaning that any type of conflict or something might be going on that rocks the world, rocks the markets, dollar is generally a safer place to keep your currencies or to invest rather than these other currencies. So, I don't know how long that'll be the case, but it's been that way for a long time. So, we see Euro USD at a really kind of looking at the 4 hour here, significant level. But if you go to the daily, it's still relatively bullish, but I usually do my analysis on the 4 hour. GBP USD hanging by a thread, and I talked about this last week. We're right at the 127% extension, holding on, so nothing's really happening there. I'm actually in a short on NZD USD, and I'm hoping that we see a nice little gap here on the market open because I'm expecting some dollar strength due to the conflict going on. So if you take a look at dollar CAD, we've been in a big downtrend. So a lot of these, things might look a lot different at the open or it won't, but I'm willing to bet that it is, right? So here's a nice little long I took on UJ a week ago. So now if we take a look at gold, man, gold's taken off. And I had told you, remember, if we break above this level, it took a little longer than I assumed, but if we break above that level, we're going to break out. And so here, breakout, retest, and we're starting to take off now. And of course, with this situation in the Middle East, man, I think we're going to see a big gap higher in gold. Now, if I like to use Fibonacci's here, so if we go from the top to the low and measure that move, this comes in right at 6K, 5,900. Now, if we take a look at the 161% of that, 6,300. So this is, really what I'm thinking, especially if this conflict continues, that we might see in metals, right? And just for the sake of looking, the 200% is right below 7K. So, but 6,300, I think, we'll see how it opens. So it's going to be an interesting open, no doubt about that. Let's take a look at oil real quick. Just look at crude oil futures. And it closed at 67. Now, projections over the weekend is that this is going to jump 6 to 9% higher. So because of Iran, oil, Middle East. So it's going to be a crazy week. It might be one to sit idly by, see what happens, and be careful, manage your risk out there, because in these type of situations, anything can happen. So let's have a great week, everybody. We appreciate y'all at Top One Trader, and stay on the lookout for some new stuff dropping soon from us. All right, everybody. Peace.